The first thing I see when I wake up isn't the sun. It's the notification. Withdrawal, $80,000. Transfer completed. My hand freezes above the phone. For a moment, I think it's a mistake. Maybe the app glitched, or maybe the bank mixed up accounts. But when I scroll down and see the name attached to the transfer, Alicia Howard, my chest caves in. My daughter. My only daughter. I blink, sit up straight in bed, and whisper her name out loud like I'm trying to summon her back into my world. Alicia? My voice cracks. The sound doesn't even sound human. It sounds like a wound. The clock says 6:12 a.m. Sunlight barely cuts through the blinds. The house feels empty, too still. She must have left hours ago. I grab my robe and rush to her room. Empty closet, half-open drawers, a few hangers left swinging. The suitcase that used to sit in the corner is gone. On her desk, a crumpled note. Mom, please don't be mad. I know you'll understand one day. I'm moving to California with Eric. We're gonna start fresh. I love you. I'll pay you back, I promise. My knees give out before I realize I've fallen. The floor feels cold beneath me, the kind that seeps into your bones. I clutch the note so hard the paper wrinkles in my palm. She took everything I worked 30 years for. That $80,000 wasn't just money. It was years of night shifts at the hospital, missed birthdays, canceled vacations, the hope that one day I could finally rest, maybe buy a small home in Savannah near the water, where the world moves slow and the air smells like salt and jasmine. And now, it's gone. I stare at the empty room and try to make sense of it. Alicia has always been impulsive, chasing big dreams, big promises. But this feels like a knife in my back. My phone buzzes again. This time a text from her. My heart leaps. Alicia, Mom, please don't freak out. Eric and I talked for months. He got a job offer in LA. We're gonna make it work. I'll send money soon. Please trust me. I can barely see through the tears. I try to type, but my hands shake so bad the screen blurs. You took my savings, baby. That was my future. How could you do this? The typing bubble appears, then disappears. Appears again, then nothing. I sit there in silence, feeling something inside me break. Not anger, not yet. Just disbelief. A mother's disbelief, the kind that can't imagine her child doing something so cruel, so careless. By noon, I'm at the bank, face stiff, voice trembling. I want to report unauthorized access to my account, I tell the teller. She checks the screen, nods politely, and says, I'm sorry, Mrs. Howard, but the transfer was made by a joint account holder. Joint? I repeat, confused. I never added anyone. She scrolls again. It says here, added 2 months ago, authorized by you electronically. It hits me like a slap. Alicia must have used my login, my passwords, the same ones I told her to keep for emergencies. The teller's voice fades into background noise as I stare at the screen, my reflection ghosted across the glass, eyes red, lips trembling. When I get home, I wander through the house like a stranger. Every corner reminds me of her. The graduation photo on the wall, her laughter echoing from the kitchen last Thanksgiving, the blanket she used to drag around the couch like a child. I thought I raised her better. That night, I sit at the table with a cup of cold tea and whisper, God, please tell me what to do. There's no answer. Just the sound of the refrigerator humming and the faint ticking of the wall clock, counting the seconds between the life I had and the one I have now. Then the phone rings. Unknown number. I almost don't pick up. Mrs. Howard? A man's voice says, this is Officer Kellerman from LAPD. Are you the mother of Alicia Howard? My heart stops cold. Yes, I say slowly. Is she okay? The pause feels endless. Then he says, Ma'am, your daughter's been involved in a situation. She's safe, but I think you should hear what happened. The room spins. My grip tightens on the phone. What happened? I whisper. He sighs. It's about the man she moved in with, Eric. I'm afraid it's not what she told you. The teacup slips from my hand and shatters on the floor. I grip the phone tighter. My knuckles white. The officer's voice is calm, professional, the kind of tone people use when they're trying to soften a blow. Ma'am, he continues, your daughter's okay physically, but she was involved in a domestic dispute. We responded to a disturbance at an apartment in West Hollywood. I blink, trying to process. A dispute? With who? With her partner, a man named Eric Miles. My stomach knots. Eric? I whisper, the name tasting like rust. What happened? There was an argument that got loud, he says carefully. Your daughter said he put her out of the apartment. She had nowhere to go, so we escorted her to a women's shelter until she could make arrangements. I sink into the chair, my heart pounding like a drum. So she's homeless? She's safe for now, but she doesn't have her belongings. The apartment's in his name only. I just thought you should be aware. I close my eyes. The phone feels heavy against my ear. I can hear the pity in his voice, that quiet tone people get when they know you're about to break. Thank you, I whisper. I'll try to reach her. After he hangs up, the silence hits harder than any sound could. I stare at the table, the tea still dripping from where it spilled earlier. My mind races. $80,000 gone. My daughter betrayed me, and now she's sitting in a shelter 3 states away. Broken and alone. The mother in me aches to go to her, to book a flight, hold her tight, tell her we'll figure it out. But the woman I've become, the woman who has worked, sacrificed, and survived, knows better. I whisper, Lord, don't let me be foolish twice. Still, by evening, I'm pacing. I call her phone. No answer. I text, please call me. I need to know you're okay. The message stays on delivered. By midnight, I'm sitting at the kitchen table with her childhood photo in my hand, her 6-year-old smile missing one front tooth. I remember how she used to say, Mommy, when I grow up, I'm gonna buy you a big house by the water. I smile bitterly. You bought yourself a dream instead, baby. The next day, I finally get a call, but it's not from her. Mrs. Howard, this is Linda from the Sunrise Shelter in Los Angeles. Your daughter listed you as an emergency contact. Oh, thank God, I say, standing up. Is she all right? She's safe, but she's shaken. She mentioned some financial trouble. She's been crying on and off. Would you like me to put her on the phone? My throat tightens. Please. A few seconds later, I hear her voice, small, broken. Mom, it's the first time I've heard her in days, but it sounds like she's aged years. Alicia, baby, what happened? Her voice trembles. It's not what you think, Mom. Eric said he loved me, that we were going to start a business together. He said he needed money for the down payment and to show investors he was serious. I thought you thought he loved you, I whisper, finishing for her. She sobs. He said it was temporary, that he'd pay me back once the deal closed. Then last night he came home with another woman. He said I was holding him back. He told me to get out before she came back in the morning. The ache in my chest is so sharp, it almost feels physical. I want to scream. I want to find that man and make him feel every ounce of pain he's caused, her and me. But I can't, because under the rage, there's something worse. Shame. Shame that my daughter's choices feel like reflections of my own failures. I ask quietly, did you tell the police about the money? No, she says, sniffling. They said unless it was a business agreement, it's a civil matter. I don't have proof. I just trusted him, Mom. I wanted to help him, like you always helped me. The words slice through me. I close my eyes, like you always helped me. I realize she learned this from me. The giving, the forgiving, the believing, even when it hurts. Alicia, I say softly, I can send you money for a flight home, but I can't give you what I used to. Not anymore. You'll have to face this one. She's quiet for a long time. You mean you're not coming? My throat tightens. I can't, baby. Not yet. Her sobs return, softer now. I messed up, Mom. I didn't mean to ruin everything. I take a deep breath, steadying myself. You didn't ruin everything. You just made sure we both have to start over. When I hang up, I sit in silence, tears finally falling freely. I want to comfort her, but part of me knows this is her lesson to learn. Later that night, I walk outside and sit on the porch. The Georgia air is heavy with humidity and crickets. I stare at the stars, wondering if she's doing the same under a different sky. I whisper, God, please protect her, and please help me forgive. The next morning, I get another call, this time from the bank again. Mrs. Howard,
the representative says. We've detected some additional activity linked to your account from a California location. It seems someone tried to open a new credit card using your information. My breath catches. What? Yes, ma'am. We flagged it, but the application included your name, social security number, and driver's license copy. My voice breaks. She must have still had my documents. The rep pauses. Do you want us to file it as identity theft? I swallow hard. Identity theft. Hearing it said out loud feels like a verdict. Yes, I whisper, though my heart aches. Do what you have to do. As I hang up, I realize something I never thought I'd say. My daughter hasn't just broken my trust, she's stolen my name, and I have no idea how to get it back.
I don't sleep that night. Every time I close my eyes, I see her, Alicia, 6 years old again, sitting at the kitchen table, drawing hearts around the word mommy. And then I see that same word, my name, stamped on fraudulent papers and loan documents I never signed. By morning, my head aches from exhaustion. I call the bank again, trying to sound calm. Can you tell me exactly what was filed under my name? The representative sighs. Mrs. Howard, the application listed a California address and matched your social security number. Thankfully, our system flagged it before approval. But you'll need to file an identity theft report and submit proof that the transactions weren't yours. My voice wavers. And if it was my daughter? There's a pause. Ma'am, we can't determine that. The process is the same regardless. You'll need to report it. I hang up and stare at the kitchen wall. The clock ticks loud, each second like a drop of water wearing down a stone. I whispered to myself, she didn't just take my savings. She's trying to live off my shadow. My sister, Ruby, calls that afternoon. Her voice is sharp and knowing. Girl, I saw your post been quiet lately. What's going on? You sound tired. I hesitate, but it's useless pretending. It's Alicia. She took everything, the money I'd been saving, and now she's using my identity. Ruby lets out a low whistle. Lord have mercy. That child always had champagne dreams on a tap water budget. Ruby, I warn. Don't. I'm just saying, she sighs. You've been shielding her for years, Denny. You pay her rent, bail her out of trouble, babysit her decisions. At some point, love turns into enablement. Her words sting because they're true. I can't just cut her off, I say quietly. She's still my baby. Ruby's tone softens. Then love her enough to let her grow up. You can't heal her by hurting yourself. That night, I sit in front of my old wooden desk, filling out the identity theft form. Every question feels like a confession. Name, address, social security number. I attach the copy of the police report the bank requested, my signature trembling. When I reach the line that says, suspected person known to victim, I freeze. My pen hovers over the paper. I stare at that blank space like it's staring back. Do I write her name? Alicia Howard, my child, my blood, my mistake. I drop the pen and bury my face in my hands. My body shakes, not from anger this time, but from the ache of what love costs. The phone buzzes. A text from Alicia. Mom, I got a job interview tomorrow. Maybe things are turning around. Can you please take my name off whatever you told the bank? They're freezing the account I'm using out here. My jaw tightens. Whatever you told the bank. As if it's a misunderstanding. As if I'm the one who caused her trouble. I call her immediately. She answers, sounding tired but hopeful. Hey, Mom, look, I'm trying to fix this. Alicia, I cut in, my voice sharper than I mean it to be. Did you open another account with my information? There's a pause. I needed a place to get paid for work. They asked for ID and mine was expired. It was just temporary. I didn't think. You didn't think. Because you never do, I shout before I can stop myself. Do you have any idea what this means? You could go to jail, Alicia. They're investigating it as identity theft. Her breathing quickens. Mom, please, don't say that word. Don't report me. Please, I'm your daughter. My throat burns. You were my daughter before you started forging my signature. Mom, no. I slam my hand on the table.
I can't protect you from this one. I already called the bank. It's official. You did this, Alicia. You put me in danger. You destroyed my credit. And you think an apology fixes that? On the other end, I hear her crying softly. I didn't mean to. I was just trying to make things better. Eric said if we built credit together, it would help us both. I thought you'd be proud. Proud? I whisper, tears filling my eyes. You used my name to chase a man who didn't even want you, and you left me with nothing. How can I be proud of that? There's silence. Only her quiet sobs fill the line. Finally, she says, I don't have anyone else, Mom. You're all I got. Her words twisted my chest like a knife. I close my eyes, fighting the urge to give in. I want to say it's okay. I want to tell her she can come home. But then I remember every time I rescue her, she falls deeper into the hole. So I take a deep breath. You'll always have my love, Alicia, but you won't always have my yes. She doesn't reply. The line goes dead. I sit there, staring at my reflection in the dark window, tired eyes, silver strands in my hair, the face of a woman learning the hardest kind of motherhood, the kind that requires distance. Later that week, a detective from the fraud department calls. Mrs. Howard, we've confirmed multiple attempts under your identity. Do you want to press charges? The question hangs in the air. My chest tightens. Press charges against my own daughter. I whisper, can I think about it? Of course, but we'll need an answer soon. The next steps depend on your decision. After I hang up, I sit in silence. The air feels heavy, like the house itself is holding its breath. I walk into Alicia's old room. It's still painted pale yellow, her high school trophies on the shelf, the faded 2016 tassel hanging from the mirror. I run my hand over the bedspread, remembering the nights I'd stay up waiting for her to come home. I whisper, how did we get here? On the nightstand, there's a framed photo of us, her in her graduation gown, me beside her, smiling with pride. I pick it up. My thumb runs over her face. For a second, I think about tearing the photo in half, but I don't. I set it back down because even when love breaks you, it's still love. The next morning, I sit down with the detective's voicemail blinking red on my phone. My hand trembles as I hit play. Mrs. Howard, we'll need your decision by Friday. If you wish to pursue charges, we'll issue a warrant. Friday. 3 days. 3 days to decide whether to save my daughter or save myself.
The days crawl by like old memories, slow, heavy, and full of noise that isn't really there. Every creak in this house feels like a question I can't answer. The detective's deadline lingers in my head. Friday. It's Wednesday morning now, and I've already made coffee I can't drink. The smell fills the kitchen, but my stomach turns. I sit at the table with the police report in front of me. Alicia's name is still missing from that blank line under suspect. I can't bring myself to write it. My pen hovers, then drops again. I whisper, how do you report your own child? The only sound that answers me is the refrigerator's low hum and the ticking clock above the stove. Around noon, I walk outside to clear my head. The Georgia sun hits hard, baking the front steps. I water my flowers, or at least pretend to. My hands shake so bad that more water hits the porch than the petals. My neighbor, Mr. Benson, waves from across the street. Morning, Miss Denise. You look troubled. Everything okay? I fake a smile. Just a long week, that's all. He nods, concern still in his eyes. Keep your head up now. You're one of the good ones. I manage a soft laugh, but his words sting. Because if I were really one of the good ones, would I be here, debating whether to send my daughter to jail? I go back inside, close the blinds, and sit in the dark living room. The quiet is thick enough to suffocate. Then a knock at the door. 3 slow taps. My heart jumps. For a split second, I think it's the detective, or worse, the bank coming to collect something else. But when I open the door, it's her. Alicia. She stands there, thinner than I remember, her hair pulled into a messy bun, her eyes swollen like she's been crying for days. She's wearing the same denim jacket she left home in months ago. Mom, she says softly. My throat tightens. What are you doing here? I had to see you, she says, stepping forward, her voice trembling. They froze my account. I couldn't even get a bus ticket, so I hitchhiked halfway. I didn't know where else to go. I stare at her, my baby girl, who's no longer a baby, standing on my porch like a ghost from a past I thought I'd buried. Come in, I whisper, even though part of me
doesn't want her to. She steps inside, looking around the house like it's a museum she's afraid to touch. Everything looks the same. Because I've been here, paying for it, I say before I can stop myself. Her shoulders drop. I know I messed up. You didn't just mess up, Alicia. You betrayed me. You stole from me. Twice. Tears pool in her eyes. I didn't mean to hurt you, Mom. I thought if I could build something for myself, I could finally take care of you for once. I got lost in trying to prove I wasn't a disappointment. Her words hit hard. I turn away, blinking fast. You don't fix pain by creating more of it. She walks closer, her voice small. I've been at that shelter for weeks. I've been eating donated meals, cleaning bathrooms just to stay. I'm trying, Mom. But I can't do this alone. I look at her, the dark circles under her eyes, the way she's holding herself like she's carrying invisible weight. For a moment, all the anger drains out of me, and what's left is something worse. Heartbreak, she says quietly. Don't press charges. The air between us freezes. I swallow hard. How did you know? The detective called me. He said you hadn't decided yet, so you came to change my mind. I came because I can't lose you, Mom. I'll pay it back somehow. I'll get 2 jobs if I have to. Just need a chance. I sink on the couch. Alicia, do you even understand what you've done? You didn't just empty my savings. You took my peace. I worked 40 years to build that cushion, and now I have to start over. I can't retire. I can't breathe without worrying what else might come. She kneels in front of me, tears falling freely now. I'm sorry. I swear I am. I wish I could take it back. I looked out at her, my daughter, broken, begging, still half the girl I raised and half a stranger I don't recognize. I believe you, I whisper, but being sorry doesn't erase the damage. She nods slowly. Then let me fix it. Fix it how? I ask, bitter laugh escaping. You have no money, no job, no home. I have me, she says, her voice trembling but steady. I have a will to do better. If you can just give me one more chance, I'll show you. Her words sound good, but I've heard promises before. The kind that come right before another heartbreak. I'll think about it, I finally say. She wipes her face, whispering, thank you. That night I let her sleep in the guest room. I sit awake in mine, staring at the ceiling, listening to her soft breathing down the hall. At 2 a.m., I hear movement. The quiet creak of floorboards. I slip out of bed and peek into the hall. Alicia's in the kitchen, her silhouette faint in the moonlight. She's holding her phone, whispering into it. No, I can't ask her again. She already knows about the accounts. I'm trying to fix it. She pauses, then adds, I'll get the rest soon. Just give me time. My stomach drops. The rest? When she hangs up and turns, I see her there. Her face goes pale. Who were you talking to? I ask, my voice calm but cold. She stammers, nobody, just a friend. Don't lie to me. Her lips tremble. It was Eric. The room spins. You're still talking to him? She starts crying again. He said he's sorry, Mom. He said if I can just help him one last time, he'll pay me back. I can't listen. My anger erupts sharp and raw. Get out, Mom. Get out. I scream, pointing toward the door. You bring that man's poison into my house again, and you can't stay here another second. She backs away, sobbing. I don't care what you meant. You keep choosing people who break you, and now you're dragging me down too. I'm done saving you, Alicia. She runs to her room, slamming the door. The house goes silent again. I collapse on the couch, shaking, tears spilling uncontrollably. The sound that comes out of me isn't even human. It's the sound of a heart cracking open after years of holding it together. For the first time in my life, I don't know if love is enough.
Morning comes, but the house feels colder than before. I can still feel the echo of my own voice from last night. Harsh, trembling, full of words I can't take back. When I walk down the hall, Alicia's door is open. Her bed is empty, the blankets folded neatly at the foot, like she wanted me to know she'd left on purpose. I find a note on the kitchen counter. Mom, I'm sorry. I'll make things right this time. Don't worry about me. I love you. No signature, no explanation, just those words. Heavy and hollow. My hands start to shake. No. I run to check the front closet. My old purse is missing. The one I kept tucked away with my emergency cash envelope. I rip through the drawers, hoping maybe I moved it, but the envelope is gone. $600. It's not much compared to what she already took, but somehow this hurts worse, like proof that she hasn't changed at all. I call her phone immediately. Straight to voicemail. Alicia, you better call me back this minute. I yell into the receiver, my voice cracking. I swear, if you do this again, but I can't even finish the sentence. I hang up and collapse at the table, tears spilling freely. I whisper, why can't love be enough to save her? By afternoon, I'm pacing the living room. Ruby calls again, like she can sense something's wrong. What happened now? She asks, her tone half curious, half worried. She's gone, I say, voice breaking. Took some cash and disappeared. Ruby exhales sharply. Denise, baby, you can't keep letting her do this. You've got to protect yourself. I know, I say quietly, staring at the note. But she's out there, Ruby, alone. What if something happens? She made her bed, Ruby says softly. You spent your whole life catching her before she hits the ground. Maybe this time she needs to feel it. I don't respond because deep down, I know she's right, but the part of me that's a mother refuses to sit still. By nightfall, I call the detective. This is Mrs. Howard. You can move forward with the report. I'm done waiting. He sounds hesitant. Are you sure, ma'am? I'm sure, I whisper, even though my heart screams the opposite. After I hang up, I walk into Alicia's empty room. Her old perfume still lingers in the air, soft, sweet, hopeful. I sit on the edge of the bed and pick up the framed photo she left behind. It's us at the park, laughing, her head on my shoulder. I whisper, where did you go, baby? The next 2 days blur together. I go to work at the hospital pretending everything's fine. I smile at patients, take vitals, chart medications, all while my mind is somewhere else. Every time my phone buzzes, my heart jumps hoping it's her. Then Friday night, it rings, a number I don't recognize. Mrs. Howard, a voice says. This is Detective Rains. My pulse quickens. Did you find her? We haven't located her yet, but there's something you should know. We got a call from a pawn shop in Macon. A woman matching your daughter's description tried to pawn several pieces of jewelry under your name. She used your ID. My stomach twists. What jewelry? He clears his throat. A gold cross necklace, a pair of earrings, and a wedding ring set. My breath catches. My husband's ring, I whisper. The one I kept after he passed. Yes, ma'am. The shop owner recognized your name from the fraud report and called us. We're holding the items, but he hesitates. We may need you to confirm ownership in person. I sink into the couch, tears welling up. She stole from her father's memory. The detective's voice softens. I'm sorry, Mrs. Howard. I know this is hard. Hard? I choke out. It's unbearable. When I hang up, I sit in silence, clutching the phone to my chest. The wedding ring had been the last thing I had left of my husband, Marcus. He died 15 years ago, and I'd promised myself I'd never let go of that ring, not until the day I joined him. And now my daughter tried to sell it for a few $100s. I cry until my chest aches. That night, I dream of Marcus. He's sitting at the kitchen table, his strong hands folded, his smile patient as ever. He says, baby, you've done all you can. You can't love her into being whole. When I wake, the sun is rising, casting golden light through the blinds. I sit up slowly, my body heavy, but my mind clear. I whisper, I can't keep saving her from herself. The phone buzzes again. It's a text from an unknown number. Mom, I didn't mean to hurt you. Please don't let them take me. I just needed to fix things. I'll come home. I promise. I stare at the message, hands trembling. Then another one comes through. Eric's in trouble. He said if I don't help him, something bad will happen. Please, Mom. I can't lose him. My blood runs cold. I call the number. No answer. I call again. Heart pounding. Still nothing. Then a message appears. This phone will be disconnected soon. Panic surges through me. I grab my keys and purse and rush out the door. I don't even know where I'm going, just that I can't sit still while my child is tangled in danger again. Driving through town, I can barely see through my tears. I whisper over and over, God, please don't let her die trying to save someone who doesn't love her. I pull over at a gas station, my hands shaking as I call Detective Rains again. Detective, it's Denise.
My daughter's in trouble. I think she's with that man again. Eric Miles. He said he's in danger. You need to find her before something happens. He pauses. We'll do our best, ma'am. Do you have her location? No, I whisper. But I know she's running out of chances. When I hang up, I rest my forehead against the steering wheel. My tears drip on my lap. For the first time, I realize this story might not end with forgiveness or redemption. It might end with loss. And I don't know if my heart can take that.
The morning starts with silence, the kind that feels like a warning. I barely slept last night. Every creak in the house made me think it was Alicia coming home. Every gust of wind sounded like her voice, but she never came. I sit at the kitchen table, holding my coffee mug with both hands, staring at her note again. Don't worry about me, as if those words could erase the ache in my chest. By 9 a.m., I can't take the waiting anymore. I grab my phone and start calling everyone. Old friends of hers, co-workers, anyone who might have seen her. No one has. Finally, I called Detective Rains again. Any updates? I ask, my voice already cracking. He hesitates. Mrs. Howard, we've traced some activity to a motel just outside of Macon, a room rented under the name A. Miles. My heart skips. Miles? Eric Miles? Yes, ma'am. But by the time our officers arrived, the room was empty. Looked like they'd left in a hurry. We found some belongings, though. An empty purse, some makeup, a receipt for cash transfers. My fingers tighten around the phone. Cash transfers? From where? Western Union. There's a pattern of small transfers over the last few days to an account under Eric's name. I close my eyes. She's still giving him money. I'm afraid so, he says gently. We believe he may be using her to launder small amounts through her name. It's not looking good. My stomach turns. She's being used, I whisper, and she's too blind to see it. The detective sighs. We'll keep looking, Mrs. Howard, but if she contacts you again, don't confront her directly. Let us know immediately. I thank him, though the words feel empty. After the call, I sit there for a long time staring at the floor. I remember the first time Alicia ever brought Eric home. 2 years ago. He was polite, charming even. He called me ma'am and complimented my cooking. But his eyes never looked at her the way a man in love should. They looked through her, calculating, watchful. Marcus would have seen right through him. My husband had that gift. He could read a man's soul in one handshake. If he were still here, maybe none of this would have happened. My phone buzzes again. It's a text, unknown number. Mom, please, don't answer calls from the police. Eric says they're lying about him. We just need a few more days, then everything will be fine. I swear. My hands start to tremble. She's still with him. Still defending him. I type back furiously, Alicia, you need to come home right now. This man is dangerous. He's using you. No reply. Minutes pass. Then another message. You don't understand. He's in trouble. He owes people money. I just have to help him, then we'll be free. My throat tightens. I whisper, free from what, baby? From me? Then silence. The dots stop blinking. She's gone again. I sit there frozen until Ruby shows up. She doesn't even knock, just walks in and wraps her arms around me. I saw your face on Facebook, she says softly. You looked broken. I laugh bitterly. That's because I am. She makes me tea and sits across from me. You can't save her from this one, Denise. Some lessons come with pain. I nod slowly, wiping my eyes. But what if the lesson kills her before she learns it? Before Ruby can answer, my phone rings again. This time it's Detective Rains. Mrs. Howard, we've located Eric Miles. My pulse spikes. Where? An abandoned parking lot near Warner Robins. Local officers found him passed out in a car. We're bringing him in for questioning. And Alicia? I ask, barely breathing. She wasn't there, but he had her phone. The words hit like a bullet. Her phone? What does that mean? We're not sure yet, he says carefully. There's no sign of her, but we're searching the area. We'll update you as soon as we know more. My body feels numb. Ruby grips my hand tight. Hours pass. The longest of my life. I can't eat, can't sit still. Every sound outside makes me jump. Then, near dusk, the detective calls again. Mrs. Howard, we've located her car. My heart nearly stops. Is she? It was parked near a gas station about 5 miles from where we found Eric. The keys were still inside.
But there's no sign of Alicia. I grip the counter to stay upright. Oh, God. And there's something else, he continues. A witness reported seeing a woman matching her description arguing with a man earlier today. They said she looked scared. I feel the room spin. Was it Eric? We think so, he says. He's denying everything, claims she went off to fix something. But he's lying, Mrs. Howard. We can feel it. Tears spilled down my cheeks. Please find my daughter. When I hang up, Ruby's eyes are full of tears too. She whispers, maybe this is the moment, Denise. The one where she finally realizes who he really is. I shake my head. Or maybe it's the one where I lose her forever. Night falls heavy. I sit by the window, staring out into the dark, clutching her baby photo. The one where she's missing a front tooth, grinning like the whole world belonged to her. I whisper, where did you go, my sweet girl? Then, just after midnight, my phone rings again. It's a restricted number. I answer with shaking hands. Hello? There's silence. Then a soft, trembling voice. Mom, I messed up. My breath catches. Alicia? She's crying. I didn't know what else to do. I thought he loved me, but he left me here. I don't have any money or my car. I don't know where I am. My heart breaks and mends in the same second. Baby, listen to me. Stay where you are. I'm coming to get you. No, she says quickly. Don't come. Please. I'm scared they'll hurt you too. Alicia, who's they? The line crackles. She whispers, I'm sorry for everything, Mom. I love you. Then the call cuts. I stare at my phone, breathless. My reflection in the black screen looks like someone I barely recognize. A mother living her worst nightmare. Ruby grabs her purse. We're going to the police now. I nod, voice shaking. She's out there. And she's in danger. I grab my keys, whispering a prayer under my breath. God, please, just let me hold her again.
We drive through the night, the streetlights flickering past like dying stars. Ruby is behind the wheel because my hands are shaking too much to hold the steering wheel steady. I'm clutching my phone, waiting for another call that doesn't come. I keep replaying Alicia's voice in my head. I'm sorry for everything, Mom. I love you. It feels like a goodbye. At the Warner Robins police station, Detective Rains meets us in the lobby. His face is tight, eyes heavy. Mrs. Howard, we've tracked the call's origin. It pinged off a tower near Highway 41, close to an abandoned gas station. I swallow hard. That's near where her car was found. He nods. Exactly. We have a team sweeping the area right now. I glance out the window. It's still pitch black outside. Please take me there. I can't just sit here. Ma'am, it's not safe. Safe? I cut him off, voice trembling. My daughter's out there alone. You think I care about safe? He studies me for a moment, then nods reluctantly. All right, but you stay in the car, you understand? Ruby grabs my hand. I'm coming too. By the time we reach the gas station, the sun is a faint smear of gray on the horizon. The lot is surrounded by flashing blue lights. Officers moving with flashlights through the weeds and brush. The building itself looks like a ghost. Windows boarded up. Graffiti scrawled across the walls, the smell of oil and decay hanging thick in the air. I get out of the car before anyone can stop me. Alicia! I call out, my voice cracking through the empty lot. Alicia, baby, it's Mom! An officer jogs over. Ma'am, please, stay back. I shake my head, tears streaming down my face. She could be hurt. She could be... Detective Rains steps forward. Mrs. Howard, we found something. He leads me toward the side of the building where a small purse lies in the dirt. My breath catches. It's her favorite one. The brown leather bag I gave her for her 21st birthday. I drop to my knees and pick it up. It's empty, except for one crumpled photo. Alicia and me, at her nursing graduation, arms around each other. Smiling like the world couldn't touch us. I whisper, she kept this with her all this time. Rains crouches beside me. There's more. About a quarter-mile down the road, there's a trailer we believe Eric used as a hideout. We're waiting on a warrant to enter. Then go! I plead. She could be there. He looks grim. We're doing everything by the book, Mrs. Howard, but I need you to prepare yourself. It could be bad. Ruby puts a hand on my shoulder, grounding me. You're not alone, Denise. Whatever happens, you're not alone. When the warrant comes through, we follow behind the patrol cars to the trailer. It's barely standing. Paint peeling, windows cracked, trash scattered around the yard. Officers move in, weapons drawn. One shouts, "Clear left!"
Clear right. I hold my breath until one of them calls out, "We've got someone." My heart leaps. Alicia! They escort out a young woman, but it's not my daughter. She's pale, trembling, eyes hollow. Detective Rains approaches her gently. "Ma'am, what's your name?" "Amber. Eric said I could stay here for a while. Said his girl left him." My stomach twists. "His girl?" She nods slowly. "Alicia. He talked about her all the time. Said she had money. Said she owed him." I stepped closer. "Do you know where she is?" Amber hesitates. "He said she was going to meet some people for him. Said if she didn't, they'd come for him instead." Rains frowns. "What people?" Amber shakes her head. "I don't know. He was scared, real scared." I feel my knees buckle. Ruby catches me before I fall. "They're using her, Ruby," I whisper. "They're using my baby." Rain's radio crackles. "Detective, we've got movement behind the property. Footprints. Looks recent." He motions to his team. "Let's move." Minutes later, they find tire tracks leading into the woods. Rains shine his flashlight over them. Looks like a van or SUV. Maybe an hour old. He turns to me. "We'll issue an Amber Alert level bulletin for her. This is now a full-scale search." My chest tightens. "You really think she's been taken?" He hesitates, then nods. "It's a possibility, ma'am." I feel the world tilt again. My voice cracks. "I should have stopped her sooner." Ruby's voice is soft but firm. "You can't live in that should've. All you can do now is believe she's coming back." I clutch Alicia's photo to my chest. She has to. Hours drag on. I sit on the hood of my car as the police spread out across the area. Helicopters thrum in the distance. Reporters start to arrive asking questions I can't answer. By the evening, the sun dips low, painting the sky in bruised orange. Detective Rains walks over, exhaustion etched across his face. "We found her phone again. It was tossed into the river. No fingerprints except hers." My throat closes. What does that mean? It could mean she's trying to disappear, or it could mean someone doesn't want her found. I stare at the darkening sky, tears falling freely now. I called for help. I should have gotten to her sooner. He shakes his head. "Don't blame yourself. You didn't create this." But deep down, I can't let go of the guilt. I raised her to be trusting, to believe and love. Maybe that was my mistake. As the last light fades, my phone buzzes again. A new message from an unknown number. I open it with trembling hands. It's a picture. Alicia, sitting in the back of a car, eyes red from crying, a shadow of a man beside her, half out of frame, and below it, a message. "If you ever want to see her again, don't call the cops." I drop the phone, gasping. Ruby picks it up, eyes wide. "Oh my God, Denise, what do we do?" My voice is barely a whisper. "They have my baby."
The phone slides from Ruby's hand and hits the pavement with a crack. For a moment, everything is silent. Even the wind stops. Then my body starts shaking uncontrollably. "That's her," I whisper. "That's Alicia." Ruby bends down, picks up the phone, and stares at the photo again. "Oh my God, Denise, she's crying. Look at her face. She looks terrified." My chest tightens until it's hard to breathe. The message glows on the screen like a curse. "If you ever want to see her again, don't call the cops." Detective Rains rushes over when he sees our faces. "What happened?" Ruby looks at me, silently asking what to do. I take a deep breath. It feels like swallowing glass. "We got a message," I say, voice shaking. "Let me see it," Rain says, reaching out. I hesitate. The warning echoes in my head. Don't call the cops. But then I remember Alicia's voice on that last call, how scared she sounded, how small. I hand him the phone. "They said not to call you, that if I did, I'd never see her again." Rain studies the screen, his face hardening. "This changes things. This is now an abduction case." "No," I cry. "If they know you're involved, they might hurt her." He looks me in the eye. "Mrs. Howard, if we don't act now, she may not survive. We can't negotiate with criminals." I turn away, tears streaming. "She's all I have left." Ruby rubs my back. "You have to trust the process, Denise. You can't do this alone." I nod weakly, but inside a storm is raging. I can't just sit and wait while strangers decide my daughter's fate. That night,
I can't sleep. The police set up surveillance near my house in case the kidnappers try to contact me again. Every time my phone buzzes, my heart leaps into my throat, but it's never her. At 3 a.m., I walk into Alicia's room. Everything's still the same. The lavender walls, the old cork board covered in photos, her nursing books stacked neatly on the shelf. I sit on her bed and pick up her favorite teddy bear. She's had it since she was 5, its ears still stitched from when she tore it on a fence. I press it to my chest and whisper, "I should have seen this coming. I should have protected you better." That's when I notice something, her old laptop sitting half open on the desk. I plug it in, praying it still works. When it powers up, I open her email. There's a draft folder full of unsent messages. The first one makes my blood run cold. "Mom, I'm sorry. Eric says he can't pay his debts unless I help. He says if I love him, I'll do this. Please don't be mad at me." I scroll further. Another draft dated 2 days ago. "Mom, if anything happens to me, it's not your fault. I didn't listen when you warned me. I just wanted to prove I could handle my life. I love you. Don't blame yourself." I cover my mouth to keep from screaming. My heart breaks in ways I didn't know it could. Ruby finds me an hour later, still crying. "What's that?" she asks softly. "Her goodbye," I whisper. She knew this was coming. The next morning, Detective Rains calls with an update. We traced the message. It came from a burner phone near an old warehouse outside of Macon. "Then let's go," I say immediately. "Ma'am, it's not that simple. We're coordinating with SWAT. We don't want to spook them." "I don't care about procedure. That's my daughter. Do something." There's silence on the other end. Then, "Mrs. Howard, we need your cooperation, but I understand how hard this is." I hang up before I say something I'll regret. Ruby, who's been listening, says quietly, "What if we went ourselves?" I look at her stunned. "Are you crazy? They said not to call the cops. If they find out I'm with them, no." She interrupts. "What if we go before they do, just to see if she's really there?" I hesitate, but the thought starts to take root in my mind. I can't just sit and wait anymore. An hour later, I grab my keys and head out the door. Ruby follows without a word. The warehouse sits at the end of a dirt road, surrounded by trees and silence. It looks abandoned, windows boarded up, a single rusted car parked outside. We park a distance away, hearts pounding. I whisper, "What if she's inside?" Ruby squeezes my hand. "Then we'll get her out." I creep closer, staying low. The closer I get, the louder my heartbeat becomes. I can hear faint voices inside. One male, one female. My breath catches. That's her. I'd know my daughter's voice anywhere. "She said she doesn't have the money anymore," a man shouts. "She's lying," another voice answers. I press against the wall, peeking through a crack. I see Alicia, hair messy, face swollen from crying, sitting on the floor, hands tied. My vision blurs with tears. "She's there. Oh my God, she's right there," Ruby whispers. "We need to call Rains." Before she can finish, a loud bang echoes from the other side of the warehouse. Flashing lights fill the air. Police vehicles surround the building. "Police, drop your weapons!" Chaos erupts. I hear shouting, footsteps, breaking glass. Ruby grabs me. "Come on." We run toward the entrance as officers storm inside. I'm screaming, "Alicia! Baby, it's Mom!" Through the smoke and confusion, I see her. 2 officers untie her, pulling her to safety. When she sees me, she collapses into my arms, sobbing, "I'm sorry, Mom. I'm so sorry." I hold her tight, rocking her like she was 5 years old again. "You're safe now. That's all that matters." Rains rushes over. "We got them both. Eric and his partner. They won't hurt her again." But as I look at my daughter, trembling and broken in my arms, I realize the wounds run deeper than anything a jail cell can fix. She whispers, "I lost everything, Mom. The money, my job, my friends. I don't even know who I am anymore." I brush her hair back and whisper, "You're still my daughter, and we'll rebuild together." She nods weakly, but her eyes are distant, haunted. I can tell this isn't the end of our story. It's just the beginning of another kind of fight, the one for her spirit. And as the sun rises behind us, painting the sky in pale gold, I silently promise myself, this time, I won't let her go. The morning after Alicia's rescue, The world feels strange. Quiet, heavy, like it's holding its breath. She's sleeping in the hospital bed beside me, an IV line running into her arm, her face pale and bruised. I sit in the corner chair, watching her chest rise and fall, afraid to blink in case she disappears again. Detective Rains stands by the doorway, hat in his hands. "She's lucky to be alive," he says softly. "When we got there, they were already planning to move her again. If you hadn't forwarded that picture, we might have been too late." I nod slowly, my throat too tight to speak. "They're charging Eric and his partner with kidnapping, fraud, and assault. We also found a safe at the warehouse, about $8,000 inside. We believe it's part of what your daughter wired him." "8,000, I whisper. "Out of 80, he sighs. "We're still tracing the rest. It's likely been scattered. Cash, fake accounts, crypto transfers. It may take months, even years to recover." I glance at Alicia, still sleeping, her wrist bandaged where the ropes dug into her skin. "I just make sure she doesn't have to testify," I say quietly. "She's been through enough." He gives me a sympathetic nod and leaves. When the room is finally quiet again, I walk over to her bed and brush a strand of hair from her forehead. Her curls are tangled, but beneath the bruises, she's still my little girl. "I told you he'd never love you the way you deserved," I whisper. "But I didn't say it to be right. I said it to keep you safe." Her eyelids flutter, and for a second, I think she heard me. By the third day, she's strong enough to talk. I bring her breakfast. Eggs, toast, fruit. She picks at the food without really eating. "Mom, are they in jail?" "Yes," I say. "Both of them. They won't hurt you again." She nods, but there's no relief in her eyes, just shame. "I don't even know why I did it. I knew what I was doing was wrong, but I just kept thinking, if I could make him happy, maybe he'd stay." Tears well up before I can stop them. "Baby, love isn't supposed to make you destroy yourself." She looks down, voice trembling. "You worked all your life for that money. I ruined everything." I take her hand. "You're alive. That's what matters. Money can be replaced. You can't." She starts crying quietly, and I pull her close, letting her sob into my chest. When she finally pulls away, she whispers, "There's something you don't know." I frown. "What do you mean?" She hesitates, chewing her lip. "Before everything went bad, Eric told me he invested some of the money, said he was multiplying it for us." My stomach drops. "Invested where?" She heads now. She never said. Just that it was in a safe account in my name. He said if anything happened to him, I'd have access. I grab my purse and pull out my phone. "Show me." She hesitates again, then opens her email and scrolls through her messages. She finds one from Eric, a link to a website with a login portal. Rains's words echo in my mind. Fake accounts, crypto transfers, cash. I type in her email, then the password he'd given her. When the page loads, my breath catches. The balance shows $42,000. For a moment, I can't speak. He didn't spend it all. Alicia stares at the screen, confused. "But how?" I scroll through the transactions. The deposits are all in small increments dated over the last 6 months. It's not a scam. The money is real. He must have been planning to run with it, but he never got the chance. I whisper. Alicia looks at me, eyes wide. "Does this mean we can get it back?" I hesitate. "Maybe, but it's not that simple. If the police find it first, it'll go into evidence. They might freeze the account." She bites her lip. "Mom, please. I want to make things right. Let me give it back to you before they take it." I look at her. This broken girl, desperate to repair something that might be already beyond repair, and I realize how much she's grown in just a few days. I nod slowly. "Okay, we'll do this together." 2 days later, we meet with Detective Rains and show him the account. He leans forward, scanning the screen carefully. "Well," he says, "this changes things. We'll need to verify it's connected to the stolen funds, but if it checks out, we can recover it legally." Alicia squeezes my hand under the table. For the first time, I see a spark of hope in her eyes. When we leave the station, she turns to me. "Do you think God's giving me a second chance?" I smiled through my tears. Maybe he's giving both of us one. That night, she insists on cooking dinner, her way of saying thank you. The smell of fried chicken fills the house, and for a brief moment, it feels like old times again. We eat quietly. Every once in a while, she glances up and gives me a small, shy smile. After dinner, I sit on the porch while she cleans up. The night air is warm,
crickets singing in the distance. For the first time in months, I let myself exhale. Then I hear the door creak open behind me. Alicia steps out, holding her phone. Her face is pale. "What's wrong?" I ask. She shows me the screen. It's another message, this time from a number with Eric's name. My blood runs cold. That's impossible. He's in custody. The message reads, "You think you're safe? You owe people money. That account belongs to them. If you touch it, they'll come for you both." I snatch the phone from her hand, my heart pounding. "Mom, what if he's telling the truth? What if they come after us?" I look out into the dark, the shadows stretching across the yard like fingers. "I won't let them," I say quietly. But as I pull her into my arms, I can't shake the feeling that this isn't over, that Eric's mess is about to spill deeper into our lives than either of us can imagine. The night feels heavy again, thick with the kind of silence that comes before another storm. The next morning, I'm sitting at the kitchen table, staring at that text message again. The words burn into my eyes. "You owe people money." Alicia's upstairs still sleeping, but I haven't closed my eyes all night. Every creak of the floorboards makes my heart jump. I keep thinking I hear someone outside. I finally pick up the phone and call Detective Rains. He answers on the second ring. "Mrs. Howard? There's been another message," I say, my voice shaking. "It came from Eric's number. He said we owe people money, that if we touch that account, they'll come for us." There's a pause. That number's supposed to be locked as evidence. No calls or texts should be going through. "Forward it to me." I do. Then he says, "Don't reply to anything. I'll have someone trace it." When I hang up, I look out the window. The sun is rising, turning the street gold, but it doesn't feel warm. It feels watched. Later that morning, Alicia comes down the stairs wearing one of my old robes. Her hair is wrapped up in a scarf, her eyes still puffy from crying the night before. "Morning, Mama," she murmurs. I manage a smile. "Morning, baby. You sleep all right?" She nods, sits across from me and reaches for her coffee. I kept dreaming someone was knocking on the door. I try to laugh, but it comes out brittle. That makes two of us. Then her phone buzzes again. We both freeze. She picks it up with shaking hands. Another message, same number. "You think the police can protect you? You owe us 60. We'll collect soon." My breath catches. 60? That's the loan amount. Alicia's lip trembles. "Mama, what do we do?" I grab my purse, pull out the detective's card. We're not waiting around. At the station, Detective Rains meets us in the lobby. His face is grave. He says, "We traced the number. It's a burner phone bouncing off multiple towers. Whoever it is, they're good at hiding." "Are you saying Eric's people are still out there?" I ask. He nods. "Eric was working with a small group. He might have owed them money too. If they think you have access to what's left, they'll try to scare you into handing it over." Alicia's eyes fill with tears. "I didn't mean for any of this. I just wanted—" Rains raises a hand gently. "You didn't deserve this, Miss Howard, none of it. But we'll need that account information to lock it down before they move in on it." I hesitate. "If we give you access, do we lose the chance to get the money back?" He sighs. "For now, yes, but it'll protect you both." Alicia looks at me, silently pleading. "Mama." I look between her and Rains, between my daughter's guilt and the detective's concern, and I feel the weight of every decision I have ever made as a mother pressing down on my chest. Finally, I nod. "Do it." He takes the information and promises to put surveillance on the house for a few days. When we get home, Alicia heads upstairs to rest. I make myself some tea and sit on the porch, watching the wind play through the trees. For a moment, it feels peaceful again. Then a white car drives slowly past the house. The driver doesn't stop, doesn't even look my way, but something about it makes my stomach twist. I take a photo of the license plate just in case and send it to Rains. He replies a few minutes later. "Good instinct. Keep doors locked. I'll send a patrol tonight." By evening, the house feels like a cage. Every noise feels too loud. Every shadow feels like a threat. Alicia's sitting on the couch wrapped in a blanket, flipping channels mindlessly. "Mama, what if they come while we're sleeping?" "They won't," I say firmly. "The police are watching." But even as I say it, a soft tapping sound echoes from the back of the house. Alicia freezes. "What was that?" I grab the flashlight and move toward the kitchen. The tapping comes again. Slow, deliberate. I pull back the curtain. Nothing. Then the light catches something on the window. A folded note, taped to the glass. My hands tremble as I peel it off. Inside, written in shaky black ink, are the words, "You warned you. Pay
or pray. I feel the air leave my body. Alicia steps behind me, reading over my shoulder. Oh my God! I crumple the note and grab my phone. That's it. We're not staying here tonight. We drive to a motel on the edge of town, the kind with flickering lights and curtains that don't close all the way. Alicia keeps looking out the window, whispering prayers under her breath. When we finally get to our room, I double lock the door and push a chair against it. Alicia sits on the bed, hugging her knees. Mama, are we cursed or something? No, I whisper. We're just paying the price of someone else's lies. I sit beside her, running my fingers through her hair like I used to when she was little. You listen to me, Alicia. We are not victims. Not anymore. We're going to finish this. She looks up, eyes wide. How? I'm going to find whoever's behind this, and I'm going to end it. Her voice cracks. You can't fight them, Mama. They're dangerous. I'm not afraid of dangerous, I say quietly. I've survived worse than men with threats. I raised you, didn't I? For the first time, she smiles. Weak but real. The next morning, I wake up before dawn and drive back to the house alone. The street is empty, the air heavy with dew. When I step on the porch, something glints near the steps. A small black phone, a burner. I pick it up carefully, using a tissue, and press the power button. It lights up instantly, displaying one message: you shouldn't have gone to the police. And beneath that, a photo. It's of Alicia, taken through the motel window. My knees nearly give out. My hands shake so hard I almost drop the phone. That's when I realize this isn't just about money anymore. They're coming for my daughter, and I'm done playing scared.
The burner phone burns like fire in my hand. The picture of Alicia through that motel window keeps flashing before my eyes, her silhouette against the cheap curtains. Unaware someone's watching her, my whole body shakes. Fear used to control me, not anymore. I slide the phone into a plastic bag and drive straight to Detective Rain's office, my heartbeat pounding in my ears. He's surprised when I burst through the door. Mrs. Howard! I slap the phone onto his desk. They know where we are. They sent me this. He looks at the photo, his jaw tightening. When was this taken? Last night. We were at a motel off Route 9. I left early this morning. Alicia's still there. He grabs his radio immediately. I'm sending a car right now. She stays in that room. Don't let her open the door for anyone. I pace back and forth while he makes the call. The image of my daughter, alone, terrified, fills every corner of my mind. When he hangs up, he turns to me. We'll move her to protective custody until we find who's behind this. No, I say sharply. He blinks. No? You've been chasing them for months and they're still out there. I'm not hiding her again. We need to end this. He sighs deeply, rubbing his temples. Mrs. Howard, you're not trained for... I'm trained in survival. You forget, I raised a child alone after my husband died, worked double shifts, and paid every bill by myself. I know what it means to fight when everything's stacked against you. His face softens, but his voice stays calm. If you really want to help, then follow the rules. We can't risk your safety. I stare him down. Then tell me one thing. Who's funding Eric's little empire? Someone's behind all this. Someone who wants that $60,000 more than he ever did. He hesitates, then sighs. We're still investigating. There's a man named Caleb Reese, mid-40s, runs a network of fake loan fronts and crypto laundering schemes. Eric was one of his runners. If these messages are real, Caleb might think Alicia has something that belongs to him. I lean forward. Where is he? He frowns. That's classified. Then consider me unclassified, I say, my tone like steel. Rains studies me for a long moment, then finally mutters, there's an old warehouse on 14th Avenue we've been watching. Don't go there alone. But the second I leave his office, I already know. That's exactly where I'm going. The sky is gray by the time I pull up near the warehouse. It looks abandoned. Rusted metal siding, a half-collapsed fence, and weeds curling through cracks in the pavement. I park a block away and call Alicia. Mama, where are you? Her voice trembles. I'm just running an errand. I lie. Are the officers there with you? Yes, 2 of them. They said we might move later tonight. Good. Stay put, baby. Don't open that door for anybody. You hear me? Yes, ma'am. When I hang up, I take a deep breath and step out of the car. The warehouse door is padlocked, but one side hangs loose where the chains rusted through. I squeeze inside, my flashlight cutting through the darkness. The air smells of oil and dust. Somewhere in the distance, I hear voices. I move closer, hiding behind a stack of crates. Two men are arguing, one tall, one short, both wearing dark jackets. She's got the money in her account, the tall one says. Caleb wants it tonight. The cops froze it. It's useless now. Then he wants compensation. He said if the woman won't pay, he'll take the girl instead. My blood turns cold. They're talking about Alicia. I take out my phone and start recording, keeping my breathing quiet, but then the flashlight slips in my hand, clinking against the metal. The men turn instantly. Who's there? I run. My shoes slam against the concrete as I sprint for the door. One of them shouts, "Stop her!" I burst into the open air, fumbling for my car keys. A hand grabs my shoulder, yanking me back. I swing around and hit him with my purse, hard enough to make him stumble. "Don't touch me!" I shout. He recovers quickly, lunging again. But headlights flood the lot. Police sirens wail as two cruisers speed up, tires screeching. "Drop it!" An officer yells. The men scatter, one ducking behind the fence, the other bolting into the woods. Detective Rains jumps out of the first car, rushing toward me. "Mrs. Howard, what did I tell you about coming here alone?" I'm gasping for breath, but I hold up my phone. I got them on tape. They were planning to take Alicia again. He takes the phone and immediately starts barking orders into his radio. "You just gave us probable cause," he says. "We'll catch them now." Hours later, after statements and signatures, I finally get back to the motel. Alicia runs into my arms the moment she sees me. "Mama, I was so scared," she sobs. I hold her tight. "It's over, baby. It's over." Detective Rains walks up behind me. We raided the warehouse. One of the men gave up Caleb's location. He's in custody now. For the first time in weeks, I feel like I can breathe again. "Thank you," I whisper. He nods. "You're one hell of a mother, Mrs. Howard." When he leaves, Alicia looks at me with tears in her eyes. "You could have been killed, Mama." I brush a strand of hair from her cheek. "Maybe, but you're my child, and I'd walk through fire if it meant keeping you safe." She hugs me again, sobbing into my chest. "I don't deserve you." "Yes, you do. You just forgot who you were for a while. But now you get to remember." That night, back at home, the air feels lighter, like the house itself can finally exhale. We sit together on the porch, watching the stars blink above us. Alicia's voice is small when she says, "Do you think God forgives people like me?" I smile softly. "He forgave me plenty of times. Why wouldn't he forgive you?" She leans against me, resting her head on my shoulder. "I want to start over, Mama. Get a job. Pay you back. Do better." I squeeze her hand. "You don't owe me money, baby. You owe yourself peace." She nods, tears shining in her eyes. For the first time, I see not the lost girl who ran away, but the woman she's becoming, scarred, humbled, but finally ready to rebuild. Just as I start to relax, my phone buzzes. A new message. Unknown number. "You think you can bury a debt that deep?" My heart skips. Alicia sees my face. "What is it?" I show her the screen. The message fades before our eyes, then disappears completely. For a long time, we sit there in silence. Maybe it's a ghost text, maybe it's someone else, but I decide right then that fear won't win again, because no matter what comes next, we'll face it together. The days after Caleb's arrest move like slow water, steady, quiet, a mix of relief and exhaustion. The air in the house no longer feels haunted. The blinds are open again. Sunlight spills across the hardwood floors I once paced with worry. Alicia sits at the kitchen table most mornings, filling out job applications. She makes coffee for both of us now. Small gestures that remind me she's trying to grow up. Some mornings she still wakes up shaking, haunted by what she saw, what she did, what she lost. When that happens, I hold her the way I did when she was a child, not saying anything,
just letting her cry until her breathing evens out. Healing isn't fast. It isn't pretty, but it's real. The police officially closed the case 2 weeks later. Detective Rain stops by one afternoon, his suit wrinkled from long days, but his expression lighter. Caleb Reese and his crew won't be bothering anyone again, he says. You'll be happy to know we recovered a good portion of your funds. Not everything, but $36,000 was seized from his account. I blink back tears. That's more than I expected, he smiles. Sometimes justice actually pays back a little. I hand him a slice of pound cake before he leaves. You ever need a nurse in your department? You know where to find me. He laughs. I think we'd all behave better if you were around. When the door closes, I stand there for a long moment, just breathing. It feels like the first time in months that the air doesn't hurt going in. That evening, Alicia sits beside me on the porch, her legs curled under her, the sunset painting her face gold. She got a call back, she says quietly. A medical billing office downtown. They said they're impressed with my resume. I turn to her smiling. That's wonderful, baby. You gonna take it? She nods. Yeah, I want to earn my own money again. Real money. The kind that doesn't come from lies. I reach over, squeezing her hand. You're growing up, Alicia. Not because life was kind, but because it wasn't. She looks down, voice trembling. You should hate me for what I did. I shake my head. Hate is easy. Love is harder. But love's what saves us. Tears slide down her cheeks. I don't deserve you, Mama. I wipe them gently with my thumb. Maybe not, but you're still mine. She laughs through the tears, the sound fragile and beautiful. Later that night, I sit at the dining room table going through bills. For once, I'm not panicking, just organizing, reclaiming control of my life. Alicia comes over with a small box. I want you to have this. Inside is a folded piece of paper, a handwritten note. I owe you $80,000, signed, your daughter, who's finally learning. I can't help but laugh, even as my eyes fill with tears. Girl, you better hope I don't charge interest. She smiles shyly. I just wanted you to know I'll spend the rest of my life paying you back, not just in money, in doing better. I take her hand. Then we're already even. The next morning, I wake early and sit by the window with my coffee. The sun breaks through the clouds, bright and warm. I think back to how it all started. The shock of the empty bank account, the betrayal that felt like death, the fear that followed. But I also think of what came after. The strength I didn't know I still had, the courage to face darkness, the grace to forgive. I realized something simple but profound. You can lose everything, your savings, your trust, your sense of safety, but as long as you still have love, you can rebuild. That's what they never tell you about heartbreak. It's not just pain, it's rebirth. Alicia steps out of her room, dressed in business casual, her curls neatly pulled back, her eyes bright with nervous pride. How do I look? She asks. Like a woman ready to take on the world, I say. She smiles and hugs me tight before leaving for her interview. I stand at the door watching her walk to her car, sunlight catching on her earrings, the same pair I gave her on her 18th birthday. As she drives away, I whisper a prayer of thanks, not just that she's safe, but that she's found herself again. That night, I write in my journal. The same one I've kept since my husband died. I write about losing my life savings and finding something far more valuable. I write about how forgiveness isn't weakness, it's strength with tears in its eyes. And I write about motherhood, how it's not just about protecting your child, but teaching them to protect themselves. Sometimes love means saying yes. Sometimes it means saying no. But sometimes love means standing back and letting your child face the storm, trusting that the roots you planted will hold. I close my journal and smile to myself. If someone had told me that losing my life savings would lead to saving my daughter's soul, I would have thought they were crazy. But now I know. Some losses are blessings dressed in pain. I look up at the ceiling and whisper, "Thank you, Lord, for not letting me give up." Then I glance at the camera I've been using to record my story, my truth, piece by piece for my YouTube channel. I take a deep breath, smile softly, and speak from my heart. If you learned something new from my life story, please like this video, subscribe for more stories like mine, and comment down below where you're watching this video from. I'd truly love to know. I let the silence hang for a moment after the words. Then I whispered to myself, not for the audience, but for me. Love costs, but peace is priceless.